Futility is Todd Andrews' explanation of his immobility, and at the time, 11 years ago, I certainly affirmed paralysis as a valid dramatical manifestation of ethical nihilism. In fact, it became the theme of novel number 2 that I wrote the same year, that a certain kind of temperament, exposed to a liberal enough education, may find itself bound in the contradiction between two great premises of Western intellectual life: the lesson of Socrates that the unexamined life is not worth living, and that of King Oedipus that the well-examined life may prove unlivable. Something in that line appears to be the problem of young Jacob Horner, who recounts its onset in chapter 6 of The End of the Road. I had met the doctor first quite by chance, fortunate chance, on the morning of March 7, 1951, in what passes for the Grand Concourse of the Pennsylvania Railroad Station in Baltimore. Happened to be the day after my 28th birthday, and I was sitting on one of the benches in the station with my suitcase beside me. I was in an unusual condition, couldn't move. On the previous day, I'd checked out of my room in the apartment hotel owned by the university. I'd roomed there since September of the year before, when, half-heartedly, I matriculated as a graduate student at the university and began work on the degree that I was scheduled to complete the following June. But on March 16, my birthday, with my oral examination passed but my master's thesis not even begun, I packed my suitcase and left the room to take a trip somewhere. Because I've learned to be not much interested in causes and biographies, I ascribed this move to simple birthday despondency, a phenomenon familiar enough to enough people so that I needn't explain it further. Birthday despondency, let us say, had reminded me that I had no self-convincing reason for continuing a moment longer to do any of the things that I happened to be doing with myself as of 7 o'clock in the evening of March 16, 1951. I had $30 and some change in my pocket. When my suitcase was filled, I hailed a taxi, went to Pennsylvania Station, stood in the ticket line. "Yes," said the ticket agent when my turn came. "This'll sound theatrical to you," I said with some embarrassment. Sounds theatrical to me now, too, 30 years later. The passage, I mean. "But I have $30 or so to take a trip on. Would you mind telling me some of the places I could ride to from here for, say, $20? The man showed no surprise at my request. He gave me an understanding, if unsympathetic, look and consorted some sort of rate scales. "You can go to Cincinnati, Ohio," he declared. "You can go to Crestline, Ohio. Let's see now. You can go to Dayton, Ohio, Lima, Ohio. That's a nice town. I have some of my wife's people up around Lima, Ohio. Want to go there?" "Cincinnati, Ohio," I repeated, unconvinced. "Crestline, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Lima, Ohio. Thank you very much. I'll make up my mind and come back." So I left the ticket window, took a seat on one of the benches in the middle of the concourse to make up my mind, and it was there that I simply ran out of motives as a car runs out of gas. There was no reason to go to Cincinnati, Ohio. There was no reason to go to Crestline, Ohio, or Dayton, Ohio, or Lima, Ohio. There was no reason either to go back to the apartment hotel, or for that matter, to go anywhere. There was no reason to do anything. My eyes, as Winckelmann said inaccurately of the eyes of the Greek statues, were sightless, gazing on eternity, fixed on ultimacy, and when that is the case, there is no reason to do anything, even to change the focus of one's eyes, which is perhaps why the statues stand still. It is the malady cosmopsis, the cosmic view, that afflicted me. When one has it, one is frozen like the bullfrog when the hunter's light strikes him full in the eyes. Only with cosmopsis there is no hunter and no quick hand to terminate the moment. There's only the light. Short-sighted animals all around me hurried in and out of doors leading down to tracks. Trains arrived and departed. Women, children, salesmen, soldiers, red caps hurried across the concourse toward immediate destinations, but I sat immobile on the bench. After a while, Cincinnati, Crestline, Dayton, and Lima dropped from my mind, and their place was taken by that test pattern of my consciousness, Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, intoned with silent oracularity, but it too petered away into the void, and nothing appeared in its stead.